Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about a tool that is seriously changing the game when it comes to understanding information, Microsoft's Power BI. We're going to pull back the curtain on this amazing software and show you how it can take a confusing jumble of raw data and turn it into a story that's actually clear and, well, compelling. Does this feel a little familiar? You're just staring at these endless spreadsheets, these massive databases, and you just know there are some golden nuggets of information hiding in there, but you just can't see them. It's a super common feeling, like you're literally drowning in a sea of raw data. So here's the game plan for this explainer. We're going to start by talking about how to get from data chaos to clarity. Then we'll nail down what Power BI actually is and check out its toolkit. After that, we'll walk through how to build your first data story, and we'll finish up with some really great tips for mastering your data. All right, let's dive right in and tackle that feeling of being totally overwhelmed. The first real step is moving from chaos to clarity. And what that really means is learning how to find the important patterns and spot the trends that are hidden inside all that digital noise. So what's the tool that actually gets us there? How do we get from chaos to clarity? Well, that brings us right to Power BI. When you get down to it, it's a super powerful tool for creating interactive charts, dynamic reports, and these amazing dashboards that finally make sense of the mess. To put it as simply as possible, Power BI is software designed to do one thing really, really well: turn raw, confusing data into clear, useful information. The kind of information that actually helps you make smarter decisions. It's all about creating real understanding from just a bunch of numbers. Okay, but why is a tool like this so important? Well, for starters, it's incredible at data visualization, turning all that complexity into charts and graphs you can understand at a glance. And that directly leads to better decision-making, because it puts all your key info in one spot. It also lets you do real-time analysis with live dashboards. Plus, it connects to pretty much any data source you can think of: Excel, SQL, Google Analytics, you name it. And maybe the best part? It has this super user-friendly drag-and-drop interface. No coding required. Now, let's open up the Power BI toolkit. It's really important to get this. Power BI isn't just a single program. It's a whole ecosystem of different tools, and they're all designed to work together perfectly. So this ecosystem has two main parts. And honestly, the best way to think about them is like a workshop and a showroom. Power BI Desktop is your workshop. It's a free app for your computer where you do all the heavy lifting, connecting to data, cleaning it up, and designing your reports. Then you have the Power BI Service, which is the online showroom. This is where you upload your finished masterpiece to share it with your team, your boss, or your clients. And of course, that ecosystem extends right into your pocket. With the Power BI mobile apps for both iOS and Android, you can check out and interact with all your dashboards and reports right from your phone. Doesn't matter where you are. But you might be wondering, what if my data isn't in the cloud? What if it's on my company's servers? That's exactly where the Power BI Gateway comes in. You can think of it like a secure bridge that connects your company's internal servers to the Power BI service online, making sure your reports are always fresh and up to date. Now, for some bigger organizations that need to keep everything in-house because of security policies, there's the Power BI Report Server. This lets you publish and manage all your reports entirely on your own private server instead of using Microsoft's cloud. It's a great option to have. And finally, for all the developers out there, there's something called Power BI Embedded. This is a fantastic feature that lets you take your interactive Power BI reports and visuals and plug them directly into your own custom apps, company portals, or websites. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so we've covered the what of Power BI. Now let's get into the how. In this next part, we're going to walk through a really simple guide to creating your very first data story. And I really, really want to stress this point. Getting started with this is so much easier than you probably think. You absolutely do not need to be a data scientist to make this work. I promise. So the path from a pile of data to a beautiful dashboard is basically a 6-step journey. First, you download the free desktop app from Microsoft. Easy. Second, you connect to your data sources. Third, and listen, this step is absolutely critical, you clean your data using a tool called Power Query to make sure it's accurate. Fourth is the fun part. You just drag and drop to create your charts and graphs. Fifth, you arrange all those visuals into a nice, clean, single-page dashboard. And finally, step 6, you publish and share it with the world using the Power BI service. That's it. All right, in our final section, let's look at what comes next. Once you've got the basics down, here are a few key tips that'll help you really master your data and use Power BI way more effectively. So here are 4 pro tips to take your skills to the next level. First, think about learning a little DAX. It's a formula language, kind of like in Excel, but it unlocks some incredibly powerful custom calculations. Second, really get to know Power Query. The better you are at cleaning your data at the start, the more you can trust your insights at the end. Third, this one sounds simple, but trust me, it's a lifesaver. Stay organized. Use clear and consistent names for everything. And finally, don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel. Explore the pre-built templates to get some inspiration and speed up your workflow. And that really brings us to the whole point of all this. We've seen how Power BI can take you from a total jumble of raw numbers to clear, actionable insights. So the only question left is the most important one. What story is your data waiting to tell? Now you've got the tools to go find out.